The following video will discuss the flaying of humans and the sacrificial practices of priests to Xipe Totec. Nothing too graphic is going to be shown, but there will be discussion of the practice. If that makes you squeamish, I understand. Thanks for clicking, and as always, thanks for watching. Our Lord, the Flayed One, the Red Tezcatlipoca, Xipe Totec, a god of central Mexico and of the Aztec Empire. A god whose appearance itself seems to be something purely of devastation and violence, but sits so much deeper than that grisly idea of a flayed god. Who exactly is Xipe Totec? That is where things get messy, to say the least. He became an Aztec god sometime in the post-classical period, as the Aztecs occupied the Pacific slope of Mexico that held the Zapotec civilization. Other nearby civilizations had various names for him as well, the likes of which include Yautzin, a word meaning revered enemy, Hawalawan, the night drinker. So in short, the god Xipe Totec has always had pretty metal names and was syncretized into the Aztec culture as opposed to being one of their beginning gods. Well, that's nice and all, but what's the deal with the whole skin flaying thing? Is it warlike? Is it sacrificial? What exactly is it? And that's where things get interesting. It's a common belief that Xipe Totec's skin, as he flayed it from himself, symbolized the casting away of former and dead things, and the renewal of things to come, such as a good rainy season or a bountiful harvest. That's right. A god that doesn't have any skin is not a god of violence per se, but of fertility. His skin being shed like that of a kernel of maize leaving its casing to be ready to be planted, or as a snake grows to shed its skin and live on further. That is not to say there was no violence. At the spring equinox, there was a sacrifice, a festival, called Tlaloc Xipe Huatzli, or the man-flaying. And if that name doesn't give you a clue, I don't know what will. In this ritual, a prisoner, or more, from a previous battle some 40 days before, would be treated as a living manifestation of Xipe Totec, moving about the city clothed in finery and gold, including a headdress with a variety of feathers from the roseate spoonbill and the timbrel, and the person is clothed in much the same feathers, appearing as the god incarnate, the red hue of the roseate spoonbill's feathers being kind of paramount to a skinless form. Needless to say, these living slaves were then taken to be sacrificed, where they would be bound, hand and foot, atop a circular altar. From there, an obsidian knife was used to remove their heart, and then delicately, their skin was removed from their body, starting at the back of the head and working its way down and around, essentially creating a robe made of human skin. This robe was not tanned or cleaned, leading the chosen priests to wear the removed skin, even as it dripped blood, and these priests would assume the position of Xipe Totec incarnate for the next 20 days. During those 20 days, they too would be adorned with gold and feathers as the god himself, and tasked with visiting homes to bring good luck and harvest, while taking alms, donations, and food for themselves. Then these priests would go and meet with others of their ilk, donning the skins of flayed slaves, and having mock battles through the streets of Tenochtitlan. At the end of those 20 days, they would seal the skins away in vessels, and store them beneath the temple dedicated to Xipe Totec in Tenochtitlan, where they would rot away unseen. The provision of a good harvest and weather being made for yet another year. That is not all Xipe Totec is related to, of course. Being a constantly renewing, constantly flayed god, he was viewed as a patron of those suffering from skin conditions. As such, it would not be too uncommon for those afflicted, as the priest moved around the city to reach out and touch the skins in hope of their own blemishes and wounds to be cured. So it's not all violence. In fact, outside of the flaying of man, nothing of Xipe Totec seems to be violent. God that exists in a state of bloodshed, with skin hanging from muscle and flesh, somehow symbolizing renewal. A symbol of the maize seed bursting free, ready to be planted, that can only come from the removal of skin from a hapless captive. That is our Lord, the Flayed One, our revered adversary, Xipe Totec. As always, thanks for watching. Be good people.